Seeing that people enjoyed me finally breaking out of the internet negativity mind virus to briefly discuss some of the NPCs I love in Arknights. Sorry, Anduin, I completely forgot about you. I didn't see him when I was skimming through the NPCs to decide who to include. Ironic, I suppose. However, I thought in preparation for the multi-month hell project that is all events ranked, I'd give a little sneak peek and say one nice thing about every event we currently have. Well, every non-collab event. Even the ones that suck. Which are those? I don't know, watch the video, man, or come to your own conclusions. You're your own man. Before we start, we have a Discord, channel Discord. We have for a while, but I never advertise it. So, in the interest of being a better creator, there you go. Now then, we've got business to attend to. Monkey business. Nice and quick. You could read the entirety of this event during an F1 pit stop. Maybe twice if you drive for Ferrari. Afiala gets to do volcanology. We actually get to see an operator do their job outside of combat. That's peak. The introduction of the Emperor was one of the greatest moments in the history of Arknights. The legend behind Arknights' best tracks. Seems like he wouldn't fit the game, but this penguin goes with all our favorite animal people like every IP to exist goes with Fortnite. Neon may be best known for her writing on the Game of Thrones and Stranger Things finales, but when she isn't massacring endings, she's writing terrible leveling slop to be the main villain in. At least she won Anime of the Year. We get to see how different places treat the infected, bright and early in the story. Okay, it was mostly just people who were poor and suffering, or as we like to call disenfranchised children at Rhodes Island, violent insurgents. It has words and a story. Sometimes that's all you need. Like when you're coming home from work after a long day and you just want to rub one out and see a flattened raccoon on the side of the road and it's still warm, so you might as well, use it. Maybe try to reinflate it a little. I hear it gives an achievement if you do. Inam, I love you. Become playable, Inam. We can rule Akahuala together, my queen. Unless Dorothy wants in, and I'm sorry. I live all my life in service of Roingus. She is utterly irreplaceable. Casimir's is so fucking cool. I love the cyberpunky flashing bright lights with a dark belly under-theming. It's always a banger. Maria, facing the reality of this society she's only seen a brief sanitized version of while Flametail and her girls got thrown into Squid Game every other week, really shows how cruel and unequal society can be. Federal prison. The perfect place to look for a wife. Look, there's a great one right there. I want to convince Robin I'll take care of her and pay for her father's treatment, and when she asks how, I'll get her started on the method. Betting an insane amount of money on literally everything in my life. God, I love Kalshi. Very relevant follow-up to a gambling bit, given Dusk's painting universe is about 200 times more real than any value gambling could bring to society. As for my positive in this event, Cruise 2, my whimsical skedaddle and slack-maxing queen. Monter considers mauling a child. I forgot you would chill like that, Monter. I forgot. The beginning of Skadoodle's arc, the arc that made me actually like her. Everyone just yells at her all the time, and she just wants to go home and, rage bait on the internet a little bit, like the rest of us. A relatable stupid whale. Lin Pepe Punch meme. Also, Lin in general this event. I'm the rat guy. I can't not mention the glorious underworld rat. She said she'd fit me some new shoes if I didn't, cement ones. Playoffs! We love the playoffs! Oh, I can't wait to watch my favorite knight win. We love the Nightmare Knight. Also, I like Platinum's sheer gross incompetence as an assassin while being just completely checked out of everything. A story of grand nation-changing subterfuge and such. Although, Silver Ash does end up making a grand blunder, which is a reference to my favorite chess.com icon. Seriously, you'd think it would be like an X, like, wrong move, or like question marks, like, what was that? No, double exclamation marks. They say, what the fuck are you doing? Are you insane? Ning and Liang are an adorable couple. Susie and Red are an adorable couple. Laterano's characterization as a location is first rate. One of the earliest things we see from the entire nation is someone getting their government papers in order to set off explosives on a public street just because they want to. I love Laterano, man. What a nation. The ship itself and the story absolutely rips shit. It fries. It chokes the turkey on my mind's eye, specifically in relation to storytelling. If I had to pick something specific to call out, though, this was the first event with a giga banger boss theme. The Golden Age will return again and such. Or maybe it's Jordy. I don't know. I liked him. He was pretty cool. This event had me hyped up for the part of the climax involving 0 playable characters. It's a pretty awesome scene of Gertrude, ugly ass name by the way, like she can be a 10, but if she's named that, she like isn't a 10 anymore. I'm so sorry to any Gertrudes who watch this, but it's okay because none of you would be attracted to me in the first place. Anyways, her and Beegler, where she talks a bunch of shit, her plan fails, she gets stabbed, then Beegler walks into the sunset as she curses his entire bloodline. Eunectes is so astronomically adorable with these little scrap boys. When she rallies them all to go, Avdacha stupid, Avdacha bitch, Avdacha went to Little St. James with lots of Durins. Go on and lead a revolution, Eunectes, for all those with bionical hyperfixations who've come before, and those who come after. Dorothy! 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 I love Dorothy! There is no other character before or since HG has pulled out all the stops for like this. They got the writing team moving like prime Messi working on Dorothy's character. Her philosophy, her actions, her design, her personality, how she is the most sweet and completely good creation ever. She is a being of immense light, beauty, and morality. Put an asterisk on that last one. I can't even think of something that could be a flaw in the Roingus event. Even me? Fuck off. Proviso is funny. Who's an evil little pony who sentenced many innocents to prison? You are! Imagine if you had begun playing Pokemon for a series of Nuzlocke streams and thus spoken on your Discord about Pokemon baddies at one point, and some guy tried to say Cynthia isn't a baddie. They would need to be out of their goddamn minds. Just like you would need to be to not love our beach ball cosplayer, Rubio is always cooking. Literally. A clash of ideals and a clash of responsibilities. It's cool. Although, maybe a Blana shouldn't be trusted with those responsibilities. This bitch can't even wash dishes, but I guess that's what subordinates are for. I have years of experience in the military and a college degree. One of the most accurate depictions of boomers in any media, as Zhuolei's father gives him a task with little preparation and very loose guidelines before shitting on him for not perfectly executing the mission because of unforeseen circumstances he didn't account for. Then told him no one wants to work anymore. It ended. To choose just one nice thing to say about Lone Trail is really tough. We'll go Rhinelab. My queen makes a brief flashback appearance. Silence is actually pretty okay. Jara has a skin routine so immaculate, it has me wanting to fill Granny J like an old-fashioned baked dessert. Justin and Nasty are cool alone, and when they're having hate sex, Saria is a 6-item Ornn, as is shown from her brushing off a Caitlyn ult. Ferdinand becomes goated, Mumu says Kawinky Dink, and Parvis is a Nazi. Actually, don't include him with the peak. He's a real piece of shit. Pure cinema, to the point Quentin Tarantino himself would be impressed. Although there's no feet, so actually maybe not. I could fuck off.
Conflict between the Sancta and the Sarkaz is freaking awesome, because they're very notably distinct and unique, but they can still come together as people when removed from historical and current circumstance and prejudice, as a showing to how this happens in real life.
Hey, his cancer's getting worse. I shouldn't say that even as a bit. She is so adorable, I would gladly sacrifice many Kazdelian children to extend her life if need be. Also, she puts Dolly in his place, which is awesome. I hate that stupid round motherfucker. Magellan is so insanely stupid, affectionate. I love watching Typhon descending into madness, trying to guide the Arctic's dumbest soldier through situations common sense would be able to get her out of. She traded said sense to a wandering eldritch entity because he had a nice sweater she wanted. We rob a bank. Like as the good guys, we rob a bank. That's awesome. I'm sick of banks telling me I gotta pay off my credit card. I needed that $12,000 for the Jerboa farm far more than you needed. If you really squint, Viviana was kind of important in this event. Yeah, okay, but I gotta give it to the Void. Honestly, I'm shocked they gave Ermengarde's Viego chest pussy cable a serious in-lore purpose. What a cool concept the Void is. Like the Minecraft End, but a mind palace of mostly incomprehensible creatures. That's also the name of my new EP. In what other event does animal husbandry get confused for adultery? What else happened in this event again? I feel like it got wiped from my brain during a government program. They wanted to see what overexposure to Dagenbrecher does to my psyche. I'm so glad I wrote down my thoughts when I first read the events for the events video. I love Sandbeast. He's like an RTX on Sandshrew. Shu is one of my favorite designs in the entire game. This is a big pant channel. We wild in this bitch. Take yo sensitive ass back to Big Jacked if you don't like it. That boss fight sequence was one of the coolest in the game, really utilizing the game mechanics to actually make it happen. Almost like the thematic prototype for Call of Domestic Advanced Divorce Court in Chapter 15. Clementia is a sexy sea pancake. And seeing more Volpian was nice, so there were some nice new characters in Path of Life. I loved the Saturday morning cartoon level of villainous failure that Narantuya and her goons put forth. It's like Wile E. Coyote if instead he was a scantily clad desert horse thief, and his Acme gadgets were replaced with two underlings with a combined IQ of a smashed banana. More Ermengarde and the Tin Man. We love our RoboFed in his habit of inhaling more dogs than even the most intensive white woman. 1 trillion lions is a lot of lions. However, we're dealing with only one. I just liked when Siege stuck it to the Dukes because God, does H.G. Nail making every Victorian Duke about as enjoyable as pouring searing hot quicksand down your urethra. I hate him. The splitting of the story into each of the side characters' stories over the first part of the overall story was really nice to allow you to establish, then learn about the characters one by one, even if I was waiting for Crown Slayer like a forgotten puppy out in the rain. And then we got to her part, and I fell in love with the blonde trucker girl instead, so yeah. I love the crazy religious man. I feel like if he caught thorns, he'd have held them up in the air like Simba and yelled to the gods, "Is this not what you asked for, Lord? I offer you a sacrifice!" Then he tosses him overboard, hits a TikTok dance, and harasses all the local ladies as any good man of God does. Just ask Count Frollo. I love the way all the side characters influence the story here. In this event, everyone was in place, like a well-oiled machine, all in order. Even if they threw in Wang the way tech CEOs throw in AI to everything, an addition of pure evil from those who wish to destroy humanity. AKA Power Creep Dorothy. The framing of this entire event as a story a former Dublin member is telling to who he thinks is Reed in a bar, so you can never fully know what is actually real mid-story, is subtle, but ever present. Plenty of things that are fantastical even for Arknights that remind you it's a story within a story, but you almost kind of forget. And then, at the end, the guy finds out it's a blonde he's talking to and unloads about 43 logs in his pants. You can't really blame him for that. That's scary. Man, I hate it when my Jesus computer goes crazy and we get a simulated universe that overtakes our previous universe for a time, and the computer you thought was the Jesus computer is like the evil nega Jesus computer, and he's trying to give everyone the halo that lets you into the Jesus emotional link system. But for like a story that's pretty cool, I just don't like it when it happens to me in my life. Actor Die instilled more dread in me than layers of fear, except maybe that one part with the first mannequin. There is this overbearing sense of something bad being about to happen for the first 4 chapters. It's honestly great. It's like when you're driving your vehicle around in Subnautica and there's just no music and all you hear 300 meters below the surface is just you moving around. Writing this script, I took 10 minutes just staring, disassociating, thinking about my future. A fantastical future. A future in which I voiced many a popular character. Have time to work out and cook to be fulfilled and healthy, and have a hot Aurora cosplayer wife. Yet as I left the city of my mind, it all faded. So that's basically what happens in this event as well. Pretty cool, I guess. If you cosplay Aurora, hit me up, though. Haruka is a fucking character. Like, she isn't like a soldier turned idol or anything. She's just a poor kid who became an idol. But she is a goddamn fighter. And also a bigger pussy than a blue whale has. Which is what I call your mother. She's so terrified of Hoshiguma because of 4chan ghost stories she reads online, but she just beats the ever-living shit out of an actual Yakuza-backed ninja with a microphone. I love this fish. The Duke of Casta was humiliated. The people have achieved a great victory over the forces of evil and darkness. Margaret Catcher is forced back to Victoria in shame. May the torrents piss on her grave forevermore. Mercia's design is amazing, and I don't know what it is with these Colombian NPC girls with M names and dead eyes, but they're something. If she looked at me like this, I will be standing at attention, I am instantly joining Maylander, I am engaging in international subterfuge, you could call me George Bush, because there would be conspiracies about how the Twin Spires went down involving me. Another video done. And Dustin, thanks for watching. Some minor things now that we're done. Give me suggestions of what games to play on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I plan to stream more often, and I want to do more variety stuff, and I want to play more things and just make videos about more varied things. I'm not going to, like, just stop Arknights or Umusume, just in general, but, you know, I want to do more things. I have to be allowed to do more things, or else I'm going to really start to hate doing Arknight stuff only. I'm also working on updating the Rain Dude and other channel art, so that's fun. And, yeah. Thanks for watching.